I'm going to open up for any questions now. So how does Slack compare to something like Teams? Well, that's a question of what your company uses as a platform. Teams is very, very nicely compatible with Office 365, being a Microsoft and Skype product, and they've got a big angle on their video conferencing. In my opinion, Slack is easier for a smaller or mid-sized company to pick up and use, whereas Teams, you'll need to go through a bit of an implementation phase. Some other questions that I wanted to address here were, it feels like a big switch. Was it hard to get Slack set up? Look, it was really easy to get it set up, but it's taken a while to learn these golden rules and for everyone to play nice together. So we have different roles in our organization where developers, it's actually not in their interest to have Slack firing off and breaking their concentration all the time. On the other hand, project managers, it's a really useful way to them to quickly communicate and understand the status of different projects, different tasks. So it is about finding that balance and understanding the different roles will use Slack differently. When somebody's sort of trying to mute their channel, understand why they're muting a channel. When you understand why they're muting the channel, get underneath that. You know, in the case of a developer, you're going to get down to the point that they need a 2-3 hour chunk to totally focus on a 6, 7, 8 layer deep problem, and a Slack notification can break their concentration. So maybe set up different guidelines with them. Talk about using do not disturb mode that will lead to people not interrupting the zone. Another question here is, we have a team of 15 people. I'm worried this will be a distraction, people getting pinged with messages all the time. Yep, you're totally right. It is a real challenge. And so it's a two-way street where both the people attending to the questions and the notifications, they need to set aside time to address Slack, much in the way you set aside time in your day to address your emails, but you need to set aside that time to get in the zone and get your tasks done. So I'd lean on the do not disturb status. I'd also lean on muting the channels that are irrelevant and wait until you get an @ channel or an @ here to be relevant. On the contrary, the people sending all these messages, try and get into why they're sending them, what they want to be heard about, and understand what's motivating them to send so many messages, and then maybe introduce them to a longer form platform like a cloud storage, like a Google Drive or Google Docs platform. So how do you know if someone has read your message? It's probably one of the features I do like about Slack is it doesn't have that read feature where you can see if somebody's seen your message and they're ignoring it. I like that because it empowers somebody to self-manage all the messages that they're getting in Slack. So they don't feel obliged to address it on the spot. I'm happy for people to time manage my Slack messages. And all I would ask is that if you do see a message there that you respond with, I don't have time to reply to this at the moment, I'll get back to you when I can. Using the starred message system in Slack where you can star a message and use that a bit like an email inbox so you know what you need to get back to. And probably about 6 months ago, Slack introduced a all unreads and a threads at the top of Slack where it just sits right at the top of the bar there. And it's a great way to manage all your unreads and check in on threads that you've been working with. To that point, it's really good to start a thread if there's a message that comes in with context. Don't keep replying to the channel comment after comment. Start your own thread, move across onto that thread because people can pay attention to that or people can tune out based on if the topic interests them. For people who are interested, they're going to continue to get notifications and updates. The people in the main channel that aren't in that thread, they're not going to get blasted with notifications. So encourage everyone to use threads. What would I get from Slack that I don't get from email? So as I mentioned earlier, the extra context using leveraging emojis, that instant gratification. It's very quick and very easy to send from your iPhone or your Android, your tablet as well. On the other hand, there is that legal perception that you have with a email. No one ever wants to enforce anything legally via email, but it does have better legal perception than sending a little Slack message or a screenshot. Please reach out to the page if there's something else you want to cover, anything else going on remote-wise or even non-remote. I'd love to cover some more topics. Thanks a lot for tuning in and keep an eye out for more content coming out soon.